Hi, it's Kaylin, and I am back to do a little September wrap up. I just filmed a 14-minute video before this, and I was closing out of it, and it got deleted. So I am retrying this. I wasn't a big fan of it anyway, so it was okay, but I was doing a little bit of coloring with some brush pens, and I just wanted to test them out, and I thought I would throw the camera on and color a little bit and show you these new brush pens. But anyway, that video is deleted and gone, so oh well. I did want to do a bit of art on my channel and like some coloring and some sketching and drawing, but I will probably wait until my next video to do that because this one did not work out. So anyway, I have two books to show you. I only read two books in September, but I'm hoping October will be a more productive reading month. But anyway, here are the two books that I read for September. The first one I read is The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, and this was published in 1900, and it is a reread for me. It is a lot darker than I remember it being. It's definitely a lot darker than the movie. There's a lot of backstory on the characters, including the Tin Man. And the Tin Man uses his axe a whole bunch of times on different characters, different animals, different creatures. So there's a lot of dismemberment. And it was okay. I liked the movie better. I didn't remember a lot of this book. There's a lot more characters, a lot more like backstories and other side stories with it. And when you get to the point in the movie where the wizard kind of has flown away in the balloon, and then and Dorothy cannot go back home, that is not even where this book ends. There's more to it than that, and they go on a whole nother journey. So right when you're kind of expecting it to be over and done, there's more to it. So that was a little bit jarring for me, but I guess it's unfair to say because there's so many expectations. I think when you've seen the movie and grown up with the movie and you don't know where the book is going, thinking it's going to go one way and then it goes a different way. So anyway, I wasn't a big fan of this. I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. It was kind of enjoyable to reread it and compare it to the movie. And I joined Paul from Paul Reads. He had a discussion in his book club on this, so I was on that video in talking to him about that. I was very nervous, but it was a good experience, and he was a great sport about some technical issues that I had, and we had a lot of interesting things to say about the book. Well, he did. So anyway, I will link Paul Reed's channel below, and you should check him out because he's a great guy, very sweet. He likes a lot of fantasy and YA and science fiction and a whole bunch of different books. He likes horror, and he reads tons of books. He gets through them like nobody's business. So he's a very quick reader and he's very nice. So I recommend Paul Reads. And this is The Wizard of Oz. I wasn't a huge fan, but I enjoyed the context of reading it in a book club and a discussion. So that's The Wizard of Oz. And the second book that I read for September, I enjoyed a bit more. And that was Our Souls at Night by Kent Harif. And this was recommended to me, I believe, in Bookmarks magazine. If you don't know that magazine, it's a magazine about books, and it gives a lot of reviews and author spotlights and discussions, and it even interviews different book clubs from across the United States, and people can send in lists of books based on different criteria, like their favorite books or books in a genre, and they're featured in that magazine. So it just introduces you to a lot of books that have come out, and it comes out monthly, I think. Actually, I think it might be bi-monthly. But I used to subscribe to it. I don't anymore because part of it is because I have so many books that I own that I'd like to finish, and I don't want to be tempted to buy any more. So that was kind of acting as a it was kind of enabling me. So I kind of wanted to hold off on getting any more of those issues. So anyway, that was Bookmarks Magazine. I think that's where I read about this book. I could be wrong, but that's where I'm remembering. But anyway, this is about a woman who's in her 70s, I believe. She goes and knocks on her neighbor's door. He is a widower, and she also has lost her husband years back. So they've both been on their own for a while. And she offers him an opportunity to come over to her house and spend the night with her. And it's really not anything sexual. There's no intention there, but she wants someone basically to pass the night with. She's lonely, and she thinks that he might be in the same position as she is. So they agree to this kind of arrangement, and he starts coming over, and they begin to have discussions and get to know each other a little bit more. And they've basically been neighbors for years and years and don't really know each other that well. She was friends with his wife years back, but that's kind of the extent of it. They're familiar faces to each other, but they don't know much about each other. So it just sort of begins their relationship, and they get to know each other. They pass the nights with each other. She's visited by her son, and her son leaves her grandson, with her for a while because her son is having some marriage problems. And so she agrees to watch him for several weeks, and it's kind of interesting, the dynamic between her and her neighbor in their relationship, and also the relationship between the little boy and the two older people. And it kind of gives you an idea of how they might have been parents years ago raising their children. And they kind of get a new chance at not only getting to know each other, but also parenting again. And so it's just an interesting study of the dynamic between people, especially those in, later years when they're older and they've both gone through marriage and through deaths of their spouses, and they kind of get just a new chance to connect with someone. So I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I recommend it. And that's all I have for September. But again, I'm hoping October will be more productive. And that's it. So I will see you back later, hopefully with some more artsy videos. I hope to sketch and draw a little bit while I'm talking about books, because those are a couple of things I really like to do. So I'll be back, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and talk to you soon. Bye.